guys, this video is going to show you how to do an at-home video SAFMEDS timing. This is if you want to use a video to get your points for your at-home daily practice instead of coming in and doing a timing in the office with us. There are a few important things that you need to make sure you have before you can get started doing one of these timings. One is obviously a camera to record with. You can use a webcam, you can use an actual camera, you can use the camera on your phone if you want. It's up to you how you want to record it. You also want to make sure that you have something that you can record on Chartlytics with, like a computer or a laptop, so you can log into Chartlytics. You want to make sure that you have something like a phone or a watch to time your timing with. Obviously, you want to make sure you have your cards with the assigned slices. I'm going to be doing slices 1 and 2 for this demo today. You also want to make sure that you have a surface to put your cards on, okay? So all of this needs to be present. You want to make sure that you start out your video timing with your face visible. This is just so that we have the proof that it's you completing the timing and not somebody else. Okay. You also want to be sure that your timer is in view of the camera as you go. Okay. So an important thing that you have to start out with is proving that you are submitting your video on the date that you say you are. So I am doing this video on Sunday, September 10th. So to show proof of date, I just pulled up a news site. And it's showing on the news site that it is September 10th. This is exactly what you're going to need to do in your at-home timing, okay? You're going to pull up the news site and show it to the camera to prove that today is the day that you are submitting your timing for, okay? Once you do that, you can close that and pull your timer back up. You want to be sure that while you have your camera going, you show yourself shuffling the cards. So I'm just shuffling all of my cards, okay? So this is to make sure that we don't learn our terms in any specific order. You want to be sure that anytime you're doing a SAFMEDS timing, whether you're doing video or not, that you're shuffling your cards beforehand, okay? You need enough space on your surface to sort your cards into corrects, errors, and skips. So as I go, I'm going to be sorting them. Additionally, as you go, you want to be sure that the term on your card is visible to the camera. Okay, so you can see what term I am responding to in the camera. You can see that it says explanation. So as you're going, you want to be sure that that's the case for you as well. So you can just do that. If you're using a laptop to record, then you can angle your laptop webcam down so that it can see the cards just like this, okay? So before you start talking, you want to start your count up timer. So that means that you're not doing this for a set of time, you're just recording the amount of time that it takes you to get through the entire deck, okay? So I'm going to covertly or privately, silently read the term on the front of the card, and I'm going to say aloud the definition on the back. If the definition is correct, I'm going to put it in a correct pile. If it's incorrect, I'll put it in an incorrect pile. If I skip it, I'm going to put it in a skip pile, okay? That way I can count up at the end. So I'm going to start my timer. Concerns, behavior, and environment, natural science and behavior, systematic approach to understanding events, anything an organism does that can be counted, simplest accurate explanation, only concerns behavior, if then relation, skip, treating future events as causes, if a dead body can do it, it's not behavior, behavior of interest, environmental change. As you can see, as soon as I was finished with my last term, I stopped the timer. Now I'm going to look at my piles. So this is my pile of correct terms. I said all of these terms correctly. This is my pile of skipped terms, and I didn't have any incorrect, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and count how many I got correct. Remember, it's necessary to do all of these steps in view of the camera, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I had 11 corrects and 1 skip and 0 errors. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into Chartlytics so that I can plot all of that data in Chartlytics. So to do that, you can go to app.chartlytics.com/login. So here you can see I have Chartlytics pulled up. I'm going to sign it. Okay. And then I'm going to go to my performer. And for right now, I'm going to use a test performer. So let's zoom in here. And I'm going to select my test user's SAFMEDS performer, okay? You know that it's the SAFMEDS performer because it has your performer name with your course, section number, student number, and then -S for SAFMEDS. So I'm just going to select that one. Now it's going to show me the 3 different charts I have for SAFMEDS. So I'm going to select first my corrects and incorrects responses. This is where I'm going to chart the number of corrects and incorrects I got. Okay. So to do this, you're going to go over here and click Measure. It's going to pop up this window. In the Excel field, I'm going to enter the number of corrects. I got 11 corrects. I'm going to enter the number of incorrects in the D-cell field, and that was 0. Then you're going to enter your counting time, which is your time displayed on your timer at the end of the timing, okay? Mine is 24 seconds. So for my counting time, I'm going to enter 24 seconds. Then I'm going to click Create Measurement. It says Success, so I know that it created the measurement, so I can close that window. Now I can go over to my chart and I can look and see on today's date, which is this Sunday right here, it charted my corrects. Okay. You can also check to make sure that it entered your data. Down here, looking here, I have 9:10, that's today's date, 24 seconds, 11 corrects, 0 incorrects, and it's going to give me my frequency of 28 per minute. An important thing that you're going to want to check is to make sure that you're hitting your acceleration aim, okay? So to do that, you're going to go again up here to this right-hand corner, and you're going to click on Analytics. Analytics is going to display your acceleration, okay? So this is today's date, 9/10, and this is where I'm at for my acceleration right now. You're going to look at your bounce accel to figure out what your acceleration is, and you want this number to be over 2. That's the aim that we're trying to maintain, okay? So as you can see, mine is times 3.9, so I don't need to do a second timing for today. If my accel value was less than times 2, then I would need to do another timing for the day, okay? This is the chart that you use to get your points on your SAFMEDS, all right? But you actually have to be sure that you chart a couple of other things as well. In order to switch charts that you're looking at, you go up to this little window up here. So I'll zoom in on it. It says Chart. And we're going to change to C says definitions on SAFMEDS skips. I need to chart the number of skips. So I'm going to go over to this chart. I'm going to do the same thing I did before, where I click on Measure. Skips are going to get entered in the D cell because we want to decrease our number of skips every time. I'm going to put a 1. My counting time is that same 24 seconds, total time it took to do my timing. And I'm going to say Create Measurement. And then I'm going to close. And now it's charted my number of skips on today's date, September 10th. Okay? There's one last thing you need to do before you're finished charting in Chartlytics, and that's going to involve counting the number of syllables for the corrects. The syllables can be found on the back of your card in parentheses behind the number of slices, okay? So this term had 6 syllables in the definition. So I'm going to add that. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 13 is 29, plus 9 is 38, plus 5 is 43, plus 7 is 50, plus 10 is 60, plus 14 is 74, plus 13 is 87, plus 8 is 95, plus 10 is 105. So I got a total of 105 syllables that I spoke during that timing. So now this is where you're going to go to your syllables chart. So back up here to select a different chart. Now I'm going to select my syllables per minute chart. And this is where I'm going to chart how many syllables I got correct today. Same thing as we did before where we add a measure. It's going to pop up our add measurement window. I'm only going to enter data in the Excel field for this. So I said 105 correct syllables. That same time of 24 seconds. Then I'm going to select create measurement, success, close. And now I have on my chart there the number of syllables spoken correctly, right there for 9:10. Okay? So now I have finished charting, so I'm done with that part of the video. Once you have done that step and you're all done with your chart, you can stop recording your video. Okay? So now that I've charted and done all of the steps, I can stop recording the video. This is where if you need to do another timing, once you stop recording, you begin with another timing, including, again, all of the same steps. You would do that if you didn't meet your ×2 acceleration, okay? All right, that's it. Okay, so now that you've seen that sample video for a at-home SAFMEDS video recording, you want to make sure that once you have finished that recording, you're submitting that video file to Blackboard. So this is where those instruction sheets that we provided for you on Blackboard are going to come in handy. So you're going to go into your Blackboard course content, and you're going to click on the SAFMEDS TAFMEDS folder, then go into SAFMEDS, and then go into SAFMEDS instructions. And there are several instructional documents there. The one that you're going to want to look at for this particular assignment is going to be that at-home video timing SAFMEDS instructions. So you can open that up. It's going to give you some directions on submitting to Blackboard. Please make sure that you always submit your video files on Blackboard by 11:59 p.m., the day for which you want to receive credit. It's the only way that we're going to be able to give you credit for the timing that you did, is if you submit it on Blackboard, and we can download it and grade it from there. Okay? Once you've done that, you're all done with your video timing for that day, and you're all done for SAFMEDS for that day.